surprise him and catch him off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover and put your defense in a bad spot.
Now Peterman on first down. And that's complete to Cooks. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On second down, Cook. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They'll face a third down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. A give. This is Cook. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Check, Patriot! Gone!
On second down, here's Peterman. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Picked up a first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Looking to throw. He's got Adams on the hook up. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. Here's Kamara out of the pistol. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Dancing to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
On second down, Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
To play in a tightly contested first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
He's letting it fly for Cooks. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Play action. It's Peterman sliding out of the pocket. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Taken in at the 22. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. So the D-line's going to spread out. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing right, and that's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. So certainly not what they were hoping for, especially on the road. Their starter forced to the locker room. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And now off, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. Give him 30 yards there. Back to throw now on first down. Escaping the pressure right. Finding room to the 20. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Toss play, Camaro. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Back to throw.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Second down, Peterman. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. Third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
From the gun on third down, Peterman fights off the defender. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Denzel Perryman in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a fourth down. Here's Ryan Quigley now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 23. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. That one goes for 24 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And on 2nd and 10 now.
Come on, let's go.
They'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Now he'll escape to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Back to throw here. And that'll be incomplete.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? Accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great, but you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big third down.
Just keeping the play alive. He may try and run for this. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. And his kick here is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 20. At the 24-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now it's Peterman. He's going to wind up and air it out. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They'll try and start this drive in the air, eluding the pressure right. Deep ball for Goodwin. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And he had time there. I mean, you give any quarterback that length of time, he'll make you pay.
It just puts way too much stress on guys trying to cover downfield because, as you said, you that much time in the pocket, he can scan the field, find the open person. That's exactly what happened there. And what was the end result again?
Touchdown. And they will line up now for the 2-point try.
Let's go.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
Well, that's true. You've said that before. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Peterman. Over the middle, Dorsett. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 22. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Here's Peterman to throw. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Watch it now, Barney. Over.
2nd and 10 now, Peterman. He sets to fire deep. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
To throw again is Peterman. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
The best passing attacks in the NFL often incorporate the guys out of the backfield catching the football. And that's what we just got on that play. As a primary receiver, not always just a...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Kevin King with a pick. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defensive coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula's not working. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And he comes back with one complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They're going to look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Christian Kirksey in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
So now from a defensive perspective, they might still have a pulse.
Yeah, that probably would have sealed their fate, but now they're still within 2 scores.
So the D-line's going to spread out. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
Now Peterman, flush to his right. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Josh Jones. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there on the catch and run. 73 yards. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. He'll drop to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Set to return. This is Brandon Cooks. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you're looking to play.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Derek Barnett, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Peterman on second down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver, and it's third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Peterman. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. A gain of 19 on 3rd and 18, and that'll move the chains. On first down, Peterman flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Kenny Clark, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. From midfield now, here's Peterman. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Out of the gun, Peterman. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. From the red zone now, here's Peterman on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Richardson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion. From the shotgun, Peterman. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Now a play fake here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And he coughed it up. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Now I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well. The Packers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Christian Kirksey. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Here we go. Brad 38.
They'll drop to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. The pigskin on the 7-yard line now. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Well, they knew a lot of steps had to happen here. They got step 1, the touchdown. You need a 2-point conversion here, don't you?
You do, and as you continue to look ahead, if you're able to get that, somehow get the ball back and get another score, you have to go for 2 again. That's why teams are practicing multiple 2-point plays.
We saw that Super Bowl 51 with the Patriots getting a pair of big 2-point conversions. A very pivotal 2-point try that does not go their way. Now it's a big uphill battle for the rest of the 4th quarter.
The attempt was to try and make it a 1-score game, right? Touchdown, get 2, and now you've tied it up. Instead, they don't get it, still down 10.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Getting down to the end here, they have a 2-score lead. Barely, but it's a 2-score lead, so that probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles?
It does, but it doesn't mean now you go out and run option or some kind of a wild double reverse or anything like that. But you do know that if anything does go haywire, you're still in control of this game.
I want a double reverse, don't you?
I'm just waiting for that day where we actually see something like that in this situation.
We'll see what happens here. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. That one looks like he'll throw here. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So the D-line's going to spread out.
Let's go.
Now back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And he is out of bounds, but not before taking this down to the 8. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Here we go.
He'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Adams, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. And he knocks it through. Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 92% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
No, Jack, Patriot.
One last shot for Peterman. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one.